After watching this video lecture, students will be able to understand average atomic mass and what it means. And you'll also be able to calculate the average atomic mass of specific elements. Okay, so if we go ahead and we take a moment to review what some of the things that we've learned about. So we learned that the atomic number is provided to us on the periodic table. It's the number of protons in a specific element. And then we learned about something else called the mass number. And the mass number is the sum of the protons and the neutrons. Okay? We also learned, though, that that number is not found on the periodic table. So if we looked at our periodic table, though, we may be a little confused. Like, hey, what is this other number down below the element symbol? Okay, well, this number right here is your average atomic mass. And what average atomic mass is it's a weighted average of all the atomic masses of the isotopes that naturally occur for that specific element. So basically, each isotope for an element that naturally occurs exists in some sort of percentage, right? So if you had a block of carbon, right, a certain percentage of those carbon atoms would be, carbon 12, a certain percentage would be carbon 13, another percentage would be carbon 14. Okay, and so the number that you see here is the weighted average of all of those naturally occurring isotopes. Okay, and so we're going to look at actually how to calculate the average atomic mass and how we arrive at this number here. So you have two isotope examples here. You have copper 63 and copper 65. You have their relative percent abundance. So a sample of copper is going to have basically 69% of the atoms in the sample being copper 63 and about 30-ish% being copper 65. We also have masses, our atomic masses of each of these isotopes. And so, guys, remember, your protons and your neutrons are in that nucleus. They comprise the mass or contribute the mass that we're calculating here in our isotopes and then our averages. Okay, so if we go ahead and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to divide the percent abundance by 100 to put it into decimal form. So that'd be the same as just moving our decimal 2 places to the left. And then what we're going to do is we're going to multiply our decimal by the atomic mass. Okay, we're going to do that for each of these. And then we're going to add the products, and that's going to give us our average atomic mass for copper. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and basically go through that calculation procedure and show how to actually calculate this. So with step 1, we're going to take our 69.17 and we're going to divide it by 100. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing to our percentage for our copper 65. Okay, we're dividing by 100. That would give us our decimal. Okay, we're then going to multiply each of these by the corresponding atomic masses. So 62.929599. Okay, and then down here 64.927793. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do this math, and that's going to give us 43.52840 and 20.01723. Respectively. We're then going to actually add these two together. Okay, and that's going to give us 63.5456. Okay, and if we look at our periodic table that you guys printed out, you'll notice that copper's mass is 63.546. Okay, and if we look at this number here and we round to that same place, we'd have 63.546 AMU as our average atomic mass for the element copper. Okay, now a couple other things I want to point out here, guys. I do want you to notice the atomic masses provided here. You should notice that the copper 65 has a higher mass than the copper 63. Okay, and that should be pretty clear as to why that's the case, but just in case maybe you missed it, remember that copper 65 is going to have more neutrons than copper 63. Okay, and because of that, it has more items in the nucleus that have mass. Okay, and with that additional mass comes additional overall mass of the isotope. Okay, So this is how you calculate average atomic mass for your elements. That's how we get to the numbers under the element symbols on the periodic table. Okay, and that's the way it goes.